From the Post-Millennial, Disney to lay off hundreds of finance, film, and TV employees. Oof. Several hundred employees are being laid off by the Walt Disney Company starting Monday. The AI collapse is now. Per the outlet citing sources familiar with the matter, the cuts primarily affect Disney Entertainment as well as the corporate financial side of the company. Marketing, filming, casting, and development will be impacted. Most of the affected Disney Entertainment television staff that are being let go are reportedly located in L.A., but no teams are being completely eliminated. For the entertainment giant, this is the fourth round of layoffs since mid-2024 and has been part of a cost-cutting process. When Bob Iger returned as CEO in 2023, he had set the goal of cutting $7.5 billion in costs. They say in March of earlier this year, there were around 200 Disney workers laid off from the corporation, comprising 6% of its workforce at ABC News. This followed a restructuring last October. It is coming, my friends. And this is just the beginning. AI is not even at that point yet, where everyone's uploading these VO3 videos from Google, and they're crazy good, but still only 8 seconds. But it is insane to see where we've gone in 1 year, the advancement of AI. 1 year from now, it's going to be perfect. There
was the Will Smith year ago video of him eating spaghetti put next to I think it was a VO3, whatever. It's just like we were saying back then. In a year, 18 months, you're not even going to be able to tell. Nowadays, unless there's watermarks, you can't. It's really hard to tell.
My positive take is that there's going to be a lot of people who reject the movie aspect, like the art aspect of AI, and they're tired of that kind of slop. And they won't want a designer thing. They want something that's made by someone that affects them personally. The problem for me is the AI just taking over everything else. Like the government, like Saudi Arabia implementing an AI government, which they've announced.
Oh, really?
So that's going to happen here at some point.
We'll see if it happens.
Maybe already happened.
I do think it already happened. A lot of people who are close to this administration right now are the people building out the technocracy. A lot of they're experts, so-called experts, and they're close to AI. Look at Project Stargate again. The $500 billion fund to OpenAI and Oracle and I think NVIDIA. It's going to get
a lot of this. A lot of this stuff is not going to actually come to fruition in the United States unless we change the way that we make power, and we have to because if you start greenlighting nuclear power plants and stuff like that, I think the soonest you can get these things turned on is like 7 years later.
Right.
So it's like you're talking about, 2035, 2034.
Yeah, the power thing's crazy because to run AI takes a lot more power, obviously. But that $500 billion fund, I believe the infrastructure aspect of that is only going to OpenAI, and they're building just a ton of data centers. And we live not too far from Data Center City. Over, I think it's somewhere in Virginia. Like there's a ton of them over there.
Do you know where they're building this one?
The OpenAI ones, I think, are in Texas.
Okay,
I could be wrong. Abilene comes to mind, but I could be wrong with the name or state. But that's what's happening. They're building a ton of them. Everything's going to turn into a data center. They're going to turn Earth into a data center.
Yeah, in some other kind of abstract way, it already is, because it's the only place that has conscious.
But they're going to be in Mars, and then we're just going to be this dystopian giant factory, like digital brain.
You're talking about a long time, homie.
I don't know, dude. I think Elon's saying right now that in a few years there'll be more humanoids than people.
Yeah,
he's also talking about he's building billions of humanoid robots that everyone's going to want, supposedly. I'm sure people will. And he's talking about how many starships he's pumping out.
He's not wrong about the robots.
No, he knows.
Look. How many times have you had to do some like trivial waste of time errand that you didn't want to do? We all have our moments. It's like, right, I'm in the living room and I'm like on my computer or on my phone trying to order something I need for work, and then Allison says, "I need you to run to the car and grab this thing," and I'm like, it's so trivial and unimportant, but it has to be done. Like, we left the baby's bag in the car, have to get it, but I gotta order this thing. I gotta stop doing the work I gotta do no. Robot, go to the car and grab the backpack.
Yep.
Robot walks outside, comes back in. No problem. Nobody got to ask me anything. I can take care of the important work I got to do, paying the bills. I don't know if you guys saw that Black Mirror episode where they have the AI. She's just like, I got to call the cable company and pay this late bill. And the AI goes, I'm contacting the cable company right now for you. And your bill's paid. You're good to go. And the mom's like, really? It's like, yep, you're all done.
that kind of stuff will be a big deal.
Yep.
And you're going to be able to get it for $25,000 over 72 months at 3.9 or whatever percent finance charge.
No, it's cheaper than that.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe.
It's going to be $20 a month.
$20 a month?
Oh, I got ChatGPT Pro for like $40 a month.
I'm talking about the actual robot.
Oh, right. No,
You know
they're way cheaper than that.
Yeah, well,
You can buy one of these humanoid robots right now for a couple grand.
they'll start around, like, from what I hear Musk talking about, he's thinking they're going to start around, the good quality ones are going to start around $20,000, $25,000. So, but I mean, the point is they're well within reach of middle class America once they start making them. They're not going to be something that only, because right now only like Kim Kardashian has one.
She's going to marry one. She'll be the first celebrity to marry one.
Right now, the humanoid robots they do sell are limited in what they can do, and they are going for about $20K.
Yeah.
Here's one at 16, there's one at 90, but they don't do anything just yet. But they do have those dogs.
Yep.
Robot dogs.
But once they get the AI squared away where they learn
$3,000
properly.
for a robodog.
How much?
$3,000.
Nice. Once they get the AI straight where they can, learn properly, like it's actually an AI that can learn from being in the world, because it's going to have to learn what your house is, the layout of your house is. They're going to have to learn the people and stuff. Once it can do that, once one can do it, they all can do it.
Yep.
So it's like once it learns how to do, make a quiche or whatever, right? Like then they can all do it. Once it learns how to play guitar, play piano, then they can all
Once
do
they
it.
learn how to overthrow your government and enslave you,
They all know how to do it.
I just watched a CEO from one of these companies talk about their robots, and he was like, we used to think about how the factories were dehumanizing the people during the first revolution, or industrial revolution. But he's like, our robots are not doing so well in factories. So we actually have to take them out of the factories because they're not learning well, and send them to your homes to learn. I'm like, that's so hilarious and backwards of how we are to people. Sending them to your house to learn, I get it. But the short-term benefits sound nice. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm not going to have a robot to do anything.
Let's see how AI handled it. Ready?
Oracle, how do we save the country?
Eliminate free will. Stabilize through control.
God help us. Oracle, how do we...
They did it wrong. The guy is not supposed to say it. The computer is supposed to say it. And they called it Oracle. That's fantastic.
Yep. Shout out to Larry Ellison.
Yep.
A dangerous man.
So we're not quite there in understanding properly. Let me give this a thumbs down. That's how you got to teach it. And I intend to. So you give it a thumbs down and say it didn't follow instructions. It's supposed to be the computer saying eliminate free will, not some guy. But it tried.
It did. And it still kind of got the point across.
I love
All right,
seeing it
Shane,
fail.
give me a video prompt. What do you want to see?
The real moon.
All right.
Show me Stanley Kubrick.
So I told ChatGPT the real moon video prompt. It auto-generated an 8-second scene. I'm going to copy and paste it into Gemini and tell it to render the video. So all you said was the real moon. And that's what I typed into ChatGPT, the real moon, video prompt. It then wrote a script. I didn't read it. I just copied it. Now I'm pasting it to Gemini because Gemini sucks. It makes really great video, but if I typed in the real moon, it would just make a video of the moon. ChatGPT understands kind of the idea of what you're trying to get across with the real moon.
Interesting.
Yeah. So now it's rendering, and we'll see what happens.
The real moon, do you think that the real moon is a construct? Pardon me.
I mean, yeah.
Have you watched Moonfall yet?
There. No.
Oh, come on, bro.
I know. I've been rewatching 80s sci-fi. Blade Runner, RoboCop, Terminator, all the good stuff, but I haven't watched
Yeah,
it.
Moonfall's where the moon is falling to Earth.
Okay.
And then it's really close to the Earth, and then people run and jump, and they jump super high because the moon's gravity. But it turns out the moon is a gigantic terraforming base by an ancient civilization of humans.
It's something. There's something in it. China's been doing something on the dark side of the moon for years. I don't think anyone knows what it is. I think there's something up there. There's people paying to bury themselves up there. Hitler might be there, not Argentina.
The Nazis went to the moon.
Yeah, if he's not behind the ice wall and he's not in Argentina, he's in the moon.
He's in the moon.
I want to read that comic book.
In the moon.
Yeah, it would be a good content.
They made 2 movies, Iron Skies.
I didn't see him.
You've not seen Iron Sky?
I live under a rock.
It's like about the Nazis going to the moon after World War II, and then they have a moon base, which is stupid because how would they supply it with food and oxygen and water? But whatever.
Inside the moon.
Yeah, they got a kitchen in the middle of the moon.
They're right.
Clearly.
They're just underground. You need to
They
live
have a
underground.
grocery store on the moon. Duh.
Yeah,
You
everyone
have to
knows
live
that.
underground because of the radiation
I mean,
anyway.
the video, I just don't think I don't think the videos we've seen of the moon landing are real. They just don't look real. They just don't look believable.
I don't think there's any video of the moon landing at all.
Yeah, I think
There's
they were filmed.
videos of astronauts on the moon, not of the landing on the moon.
I wouldn't go that far, but I can see your point. I think they filmed something in a studio and they couldn't show us a real thing. You know, like Alex Jones has an interesting point.
But they did film in a studio. And this is what happened. There's CBS reenactment footage.
Yes.
And people are claiming, like, how did we see it land on TV?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, it literally says CBS reenactment.
Simulation.
Yeah.
Simulation,
It's
right.
simulation. Buzz Aldrin gets mad at Conan O'Brien when Conan says, I remember being a kid watching you land on the moon. Buzz gets mad, said, you didn't see me land on the moon.
Yeah, it never
You
happened.
saw a simulation. And then you pull up the thing and it's a studio thing.
But
They
people
couldn't film it.
People were like, what?
Yeah.
Simulation. And it's like, yes, they couldn't film it. Nobody was on the moon.
Right.
They didn't like land a guy on the moon and then start filming.
Yeah, the first guy.
Or like, you know, it's like filming a vlog. Casey Neistat famously would walk in the room, put his camera on the back, leave, and then come back in to film a scene for his vlog.
Yeah.
Right.
So we landed on the moon, got out, placed the cameras, got back in the ship, went back in the sky, and then came back down to film it.
Yep.
That's like, that would seem totally normal to people nowadays.
Yeah.
All right, we got
That's
it.
what they do with their phone.
We got the video. How good? Do you think it's going to be good?
Nope. What? Oh. Uh-oh.
Look at
That was it. That was pretty poorly made.
There's something inside of the moon, though?
Yeah, like, what is
We've been
this?
talking about.
Cyborg moon? Is it listening to us?
That's what you get when you type in the real moon.
Interesting.
those that are just
I wonder
listening.
why it thinks that's
There's
the
like
moon.
really poorly
engine
and
in
crudely drawn machines. Looks like an engine in the moon.
Engine, yeah.
The real moon.
So that way it can leave.
That was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I'm unimpressed. Unimpressed completely. That's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I still am a normie when it comes to the moon.
You'll get there.
You know,
All right, one more. We can do,
I'm gonna
we can do like
radicalize
two
you, Bill.
more video prompts. What do we got?
what does the first Mars colony look like?
Ooh.
The first Mars colony.
When Werner von Braun wrote about that book, it was governed by a man named Elon.
Yep.
Oh.
We live in a simulation.
Do you think that Musk is going to eventually get to Mars, or do you think that it's going to happen after?
I don't
he
think there's
passes?
Mars.
You don't. Oh, there is no Mars. All right.
There's no Mars. It's a pipe dream. Just like his grandfather, he was looking for the lost city of Kalahari, you know,
That's
and he
what- that's
died.
the Emerald
His
Mile.
grandfather was a Canadian technocrat when technocracy was banned in Canada after the Great Depression. He was a famous chiropractor. And then when he was eventually, there's different stories. He was either exiled from Canada or he left because the technocracy didn't work out. He became obsessed with finding the lost city of Kalahari, which is in Africa. And he built his own plane, went looking all over for it. And yeah, I don't think it's real. And he died. He died in a plane crash when Elon was 3. That's May Musk's dad. That's why they went to South Africa.
Yeah,
they left
or
Canada.
he found the city.
Yeah, he faked his death, found a city.
He found the city and never came back, so they just claimed he died.
That's a fair point.
You said he died in a plane crash?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he landed.
Classic.
Yeah.
And they just said, oh, the plane's gone.
Or it's Elon
Crashed.
this whole time. They're just immortal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it's Elon, just immortal.
There's a conspiracy theory that powerful global elites, once they get to like 70 years old, then they get the immortality serum and de-age to their 20s where they become staffers or they're...
That's
Nick Cage was in the
Illuminati?
Civil War. Have you guys seen that photo? Like, that guy's a vampire. He's something.
Where?
Just look up Nick Cage Civil War photo. I'm sure it'll come up. There's a bunch of celebrities. They look at old Civil War photos and they're like, there's no way.
Nicolas Cage, I'm not a vampire.
That's what
Well,
they all
that-
say. That's what a vampire would say.
That is what a vampire would say.
Look at that.
ooh,
Look at that.
yeah, you know. I wonder if there's a place where all these photos are correlated.
Or it's just that sometimes people look like other people, you know?
Maybe.
That's just it.
Or Nick Cage is forever.
I mean, look, we all know someone that looks like someone else.
Like doppelgangers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
totally normal. And there's like, you know, certain shapes to faces and stuff.
People don't know this, but we have another individual who works here. His name is Bill Falanti, who's a janitor who looks just like Phil, and his name is Bill.
Yep.
You know, people don't know that.
Sometimes he'll fill in for me. it's a secret, but
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.